Just found my first shed of the year. Absolutely crazy. So my food plot's right over here. I'm just coming out here to check this, do an update. And I've been out here in weeks. Right on the main access trail, there's a shed. If this was deeper snow, I would have ran the thing right over. Well, the tire wouldn't have hit it, but it's laying right in the middle. Food plot's right over there. Usually the first shed of the year, I always find not even looking for sheds because it's still pretty early. I don't really like, go seriously looking until about early to mid-February. And usually the first couple sheds of the year I find just checking trail cameras and looking at food plots and stuff. Decent 2.5-year-old. Right on the trail. Let me get a couple pictures of that. That's probably pretty fresh. It's hard to say. It could have fell in the deep snow. I don't know. That's so cool. All right, let's pick it up. Oh, I know which deer this is. This is or I think I know. There's a bunch of nice young maybe one or two 3-year-olds running around this year. A lot of the big stuff here got shot. Me and my dad both shot nice bucks. The neighbor over there shot the real wide heavy 8-pointer I was after, and there's a lot of nice 2- and 3-year-olds. And I think this buck has, if I'm not mistaken, the other side has a big brow time, but maybe it's a different one. There's a couple that look kind of similar. I haven't checked cameras out here in almost a month, so yeah, I think that's the buck, because I think this is the one I'm thinking of, but I'm not sure. You gotta be kidding me. I just found a shed. I think I know which buck it could be. It's a nice one. I was just walking around up in there, and I wanted to just, there's no deer in here. They heard me coming long time away. Generally, this is all night bedding here, but like I said, there was does bedding in here throughout the season when there was more cover on the leaves and stuff. I was just gonna take a sweep through here, just check out how many beds were in there, and head on out of here. And I see a shed laying up there. Good one. Well, right there it is. Pretty cool. I think it's off of, oh, I know which one it is. For a second there, I thought it was broken. Like, I was kind of second guessing myself. This is the second nicest buck that made it through. He's never really around much during the rut. And I had a couple sporadic pictures of him at night where some of these other bucks are here like pretty consistently. This is a weird buck that always just shows up late season more consistently. Late season, he's here all the time. He's an early dropping buck. That's the main reason why I found his shed 2 years in a row. I found his shed over there in my clover plot on the same travel route pattern of movement to this plot last year. And he dropped, it was really weird. He dropped that shed like January 9th, and then he held on to his other rack, other side, for like 2 or 3 weeks before he dropped it somewhere else. But I think this is the same side I have from last year. I'm not sure, but this is an early dropping buck. He's dropped 2 years in a row early. I'm sure he's dropped before that. Wow, he definitely grew. I'm gonna get a ton of pictures of that one. I just can't believe this deer's still alive. I think he's probably 4 years old. I was thinking he might have been 4 last year, but he might have only been 3 last year. Usually I've noticed at 5 years old, if you follow a certain buck or multiple different bucks to 5, usually 5 is their peak rack. Like I said, this buck's not even around much during the fall. Only chance I have at him would be late season, but yeah, we'll get a couple pictures here and pick it up. I'm super stoked. Wow. I'm not even really trying to look for sheds. I'm just out here doing a food plot update today. All right, here we go. Man. I think I noticed on the other side, he was just starting like a tiny little 6th point out here where my pinky is. And I think he had this bladed G2 on both sides too, but he didn't really have that blade there last year. Early dropping buck, that's for sure. Really dark rack. Wow. Definitely put on some mass. The frame is about the same size, I'd say. Maybe a hair taller, but definitely more mass all the way to the end of the beam and everything. Really cool buck. He snapped off. I found his good side last year. He snapped off his G2 last year. I found the side where he didn't snap it off. And then 2 years ago, he snapped off both G2s. So it's kind of a brittle tine buck, but now he's getting a little heavier. It's not breaking points anymore. Just right there, man. There we go. That was worth it. Planting all this was worth this one shed and thousands of pictures, but still, that's cool. I cannot believe this. I'm at my dad's uncle's place on Friday. I found the other one right next to my food plot. I'm heading up to the corner of this field just to take this camera down and move it to a better spot where there's more deer sign right now. I'm just walking right along this little ATV or whatever grassy trail that's been here for years. My Uncle Rob has a camera right here, and this buck just shed right here. I cannot believe this. I almost feel guilty picking this up right in front of Rob's camera, but this is, I know exactly which deer this is. This is the split tine 2.5-year-old. He's not big enough to be a 3.5, and he's got a split like that just on the other side. And he's got plenty of room to put on a G4 out there next year. I'm expecting him to be potentially a 10-pointer with split G2s as a 3.5. And at 4.5, man, he 5.5, if he makes it, he's going to be lucky. But he's going to have to be lucky to make it through next year, honestly. But anyways, this is the nicest young genetic deer out here. And I was just flipping through pictures over by my Nebraska plot. He walked by that camera once as a half rack. I don't remember the date. It wasn't super recent, but probably within the last week and a half though. And the buck I picked up a shed to over there by the food plot, he walked by the camera 2 days prior holding the one I found. So both these bucks' sheds, other sides, are probably somewhere in here. Get a couple pictures and I'll pick it up. Oh yeah. Been getting pictures of this buck all the way back since October, and he's stuck around the whole year. I got pictures of him across the road where I shot my buck, down in the river bottom, and the farthest that way I would get pictures of him would be about halfway through the property. So he's definitely hanging up in this way and probably into that neighbor's over there. So yeah, pretty sweet though. Good browse too. Awesome. I was not expecting to find another one out here. That's 3 days in a row I've been checking cameras and just, you know, getting ready for shed season here, not even trying to really look, just keep my eye open, and I found 3. So 3 nice ones too. No freaking way. Right at the end. It looks like an old shed. I've been seeing boot tracks, 2 different sets of boot tracks. One probably from like 3-4 days ago, one from probably yesterday. The snow's melting at a rapid pace. I'm on a city public land area in some neighborhoods. I mean, look how close these houses are. I just came up here. Looks like whoever owns this house has like a little trail cut down to this canary grass down here. It almost looks like they have a little ground blind with some corn stalks and branches, like they've been hunting here occasionally or something, or I don't know, just kids making a fort maybe, who knows. But there is a couple trails cut in here by these people. I'm on the public land they own only up to the grass right there. There's like a little jump right here. And there's an old shed, good one, laying right here. I mean, literally shooting distance from these houses. Definitely, probably old. We'll see when I pick it up here. Oh yeah, for sure. that for all of last year. The coyotes might have been carrying it around a little bit because I did jump up a coyote and I saw a whole bunch of like garbage and little chew toys and stuff the coyotes have carried over there on the grassy hill. But decent, probably 2-year-old. Man, that's crazy. Would never thought. That's why in like these super pressured city park areas where they get walked almost daily during the shed season, I didn't jump a single deer that I heard or saw. I don't know if they have already been pushed out of the area or something, but looking on maps, it doesn't look like there's many other areas for these deer to go. And these areas like this, you gotta walk the off to the side, weird spots like this. About halfway through my walk, I was like, man, I'm not gonna find anything in the good area, in the most logical areas. So I just kind of skirted along the edge here, kind of getting these lesser deer sign and just a lot closer to these homes. You wouldn't think you'd have to shed hunt like this over here, but if you're the whatever 10th person out here, that's your only chance. And I cannot believe an old one. That's crazy. Well, there's got to be some fresh ones if there's old ones, but a lot of the fresh ones get picked up.